In the world of rugby where traditions run deep and powerhouses dominate, an unexpected name emerged in 2019. Joe Taufete'e, an American hooker, stood shoulder to shoulder with legends as a nominee for World Rugby Player of the Year. This is the story of a man who transitioned from American football dreams to rugby stardom, redefining what's possible for American rugby. Born on October 4th, 1992 in newly American Samoa, Joe Taufete'e moved to the San Francisco Bay Area at the age of 5. Growing up, he was immersed in American football, playing as a defensive tackle at Santa Ana College, where he earned multiple All-Conference honors. However, a serious ACL injury halted his football aspirations. At 17, Joe's life took a turn when he began dating his now wife. Her family's deep involvement in rugby introduced him to the sport. To connect with them, he joined Belmont Shore Youth Rugby Club. What began as a gesture of love quickly evolved into a passion. Belmont Shore, one of the strongest rugby clubs in California, provided Joe with a solid foundation in the sport. Under the guidance of experienced coaches and surrounded by talented teammates, he honed his skills and developed a deep understanding of the game. His time at Belmont Shore was instrumental in his rapid ascent through rugby ranks, showcasing his natural athleticism and adaptability. Determined to further develop his rugby prowess, Joe travelled to New Zealand, the heartland of rugby, to play for Otorohanga RFC in the Waikato region. This experience immersed him in a rugby-centric culture, exposing him to high-level competition and rigorous training regimens. Playing in New Zealand allowed Joe to refine his technical skills, particularly in the front row positions, and gain invaluable match experience against seasoned players. His performance at Otorohanga RFC caught the attention of scouts, leading to his return to the USA in 2016, where he signed with the San Diego Breakers in the inaugural Pro Rugby League. This marked the beginning of his professional rugby career and set the stage for his breakthrough into European rugby. When Joe Taufete'e made the leap to European rugby, it wasn't just a career move, it was a proving ground. The physicality, the tempo, the set-piece precision, it was a level up. And Joe didn't just adapt, he thrived. His first stop was Worcester Warriors, who were in England's Premiership at the time. He joined the club in 2016 after his performances with the USA Eagles caught the attention of scouts. At the time, Worcester was a club fighting for its place among England's top sides, and Joe brought something different: raw power, tireless work rate, and an unmatched ability to score tries from close range. In the 2017-18 season, Joe had one of his most impactful stints. He featured frequently in both the Premiership and European Challenge Cup matches. In a particularly memorable fixture against Harlequins at Sixways, Joe crashed over for a decisive try in a narrow loss.
True rugby, initially until the end of the season. He'll work with current head coach Carl Hogg, and the two men will have been happy with what they saw for long periods against Quins. When Joe Taufete'e crashed over in the 47th minute, they were 12.
Though disappointing, it was another opportunity showcasing his knack for stepping up when it mattered. He wasn't just playing hooker either. Worcester experimented with Joe as a tight head prop at times, underlining his versatility in the scrum. By the time he left the club in 2020, he had earned 29 Premiership appearances and made his name as one of the league's most powerful front row ball carriers. Then came the move to Lyon in France's top 14, one of the most physically demanding leagues in the world. The switch to French rugby in 2020 marked another level of evolution in Joe's career. Lyon, a club with serious ambitions, gave Joe a platform to play against the likes of Toulouse, Clermont and Racing 92. Though his appearances were more limited due to fierce competition for starting spots, Joe's impact was felt. Even in cameo roles, his presence was disruptive. Opponents knew when he was on the field. After a season in France and a short stint with LA Giltinis, Joe returned to England in 2022 to sign with the Leicester Tigers, one of the most historic and decorated clubs in European rugby. Leicester was undergoing a resurgence at the time, having just reclaimed the Premiership title in 2022. Joe joined a stacked forward pack that included England internationals like Ellis Genge and Tom Youngs. Though competition was fierce, Joe made valuable contributions during the Premiership Rugby Cup campaign. In a hard-fought win against Newcastle Falcons, he came off the bench where he defended well, winning scrums and rallying the forwards. It reminded fans that even in a rotation role, Taufete'e could still be called upon. But perhaps more significant than any individual moment was what Joe's European rugby represented. He wasn't just a tourist in the rugby heartlands, he belonged. He earned respect in England and France, leagues where hookers are judged not just on set-piece success, but on their presence across 80 minutes. His experience abroad added layers to his game, refining his technique in the scrum, improving his decision-making at the breakdown, and deepening his understanding of international systems. All of this experience would ultimately feed back into the national setup, making him an even bigger asset for the USA Eagles. Joe's rapid ascent caught national attention. In 2015, he debuted for USA Eagles against South Africa on the grandest stage of them all in the Rugby World Cup. His impact was immediate, and over time, he became the record holder for the most international tries by a hooker, with 20, surpassing Ireland's Keith Wood. At the 2019 Rugby World Cup in Japan, Joe started all 4 matches for the USA, facing top-tier nations in England, France, Argentina and Tonga. Despite the team's overall challenges, Joe's individual performances stood out. His relentless energy, solid scrummaging and dynamic play in open field demonstrated his world-class abilities. These stellar performances contributed to his nomination for World Rugby Player of the Year in 2019, placing him among the elite, including Pieter-Steph du Toit and Ardie Savea. Joe also made history, becoming the first and only American till date to be nominated for this prestigious award. Post-2022, Joe's career continued to flourish. In 2023, he returned to America, signing with the Houston SaberCats, further solidifying his presence in Major League Rugby. His leadership and high-level play were instrumental in the way the team played. As of 2024, Joe plays for the Seattle Seawolves, continuing to showcase his skills and mentor younger players. Simultaneously, he remains a key figure in the USA national team, contributing his experience and passion to the Eagles' ongoing development. Joe's journey has inspired countless young athletes in the US. His transition from American football to rugby showcases the potential for crossover athletes. As the US prepares to host the Rugby World Cup in 2031, Joe's story serves as a beacon, illustrating that with dedication, Americans can excel on rugby's biggest stages. His legacy is not just in records or accolades, but in the doors he's opened for future American rugby stars. From a football field in California to the global rugby arena, Joe Taufete'e's story is one of resilience, passion and breaking barriers. His legacy is not just in records or accolades, but in the doors he's opened for future American rugby stars. With that all said and done, it's been your boy John Talks Rugby, and if Joe's story inspired you, make sure to click on screen now to see how this English wonder kid is taking over the rugby world. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.